Hey everyone, this is Keith McGinnis with KCDC Designs out of Eagle, Nebraska. How to create a rock edge. This is a sample board that I use to show customers a couple different varieties of rock edge, from the horizontal lines that you see there on that edge to the more aggressive that you'll see more on the left side of that. So I'm going to show you how I created the rock edge on this piece. That is a Kutzall Shaping Disc. Works fantastic. You don't have to use a Kutzall Shaping Disc, but it works really, really well. You can use an angle grinder with a 50 grit sanding pad on it. All you're trying to do is really just build some contour for that rock edge. Honestly, I timed myself. That took less than 60 seconds to get from one side to the other. It doesn't take long to create a rock edge, and don't overthink it. Now what I'm doing, because this is a marble design and I want some softer edges, instead of waiting until after I Bondo, I'm going to sand that down a little bit, smooth that down a little bit. Make sure you blow it off real good to get that dust out of there. In your can of Bondo, when you first get it, scrape those edges down. Otherwise, it's going to dry out, and that's going to be a waste of material on the edges of your can of Bondo. Regarding questions of how much hardener do I add, depends on how fast you want it to set up. For me, I've been able to judge how much hardener to add based upon how long of an open time I'm going to need. So that ribbon that I have on there worked out really, really well for the amount of Bondo that I was going to use on this rock edge. Those right there are flexible cutting boards that you can get at Wally World. They're very cheap, come in a package of 3 for maybe $5 or $6, something like that. The Bondo that I'm using, I normally use the red can, which is the Bondo body filler. I'm out. That is the high bond body filler. It's more expensive, and I normally reserve that to be used just for seams. It's creamier, and I find that I have less pinholes. So there's my blob, and I'm mixing. Do not stir. Mix, press down, clean off your Bondo spreader periodically. Now here, it may look like I'm adding a lot of Bondo, but I'm not. What I'm really doing is I'm pressing those oils, if they're oils, into the pores of the wood, and that is what helps any buildup of Bondo adhere and give you that good adhesion. So I did not add a whole lot. I'm only putting Bondo on there to add a little bit more character. The Bondo set up as quickly as I figured it probably would. Scraped it off. I'm going to get a little acetone. I'm going to wipe off my cutting board, and it is like new and ready for its next use. Okay, so now that the Bondo is set up, I've got a 220 sanding pad on there, and now all I'm doing is just knocking down the sharp points. I really don't want to change the character of what I've got there. I'm really just trying to get any sharp edges off and smoothed over. And make sure I don't have any sharp edges on the top, because again, we want that resin, that epoxy, to flow over the edge. Once I get done with that, I am going to flip this over, and then I'll sand down any Bondo that ended up on that underside edge, because I want that clean for one, and again, I want that epoxy to roll under. I know this was a quick video, but it was just to give you a little bit of an idea of how I create a rock edge. And this one in particular, not a real aggressive type rock edge. And I was going to get a picture when I had the primer put on, but I forgot. And so here's a picture after I applied the color coat. And so it really turned out nice. I think it's a nice subtle rock edge for a white marble type design type look. And that's what these customers wanted. Really, there's not a whole lot of, well, obviously no contrasting colors other than the veins. The undertones are amazing. But that rock edge fit for that design really, really well. Turned out really nice also. If you have any questions, be sure and let me know. Thank you for watching the video. Please click the subscribe button and have a great day.